Okay, today we are going to answer some questions, okay? And here is a question. Do you work from home as a nurse? The answer is no. I am not a nurse and I don't work from home as a nurse. No. But I wanted to tell you this. When I was a kid, my dream was to become a nurse. When I was a child, that's one of my dream in life, is to become a nurse. But since back then I didn't have money to go to school, so plus I am not so sure if I really wanted to take that as a nurse. But I was like, in my mind, I just really wanted to become a nurse when I was in my high school because I was fascinated by the uniform. I think that's what it is. But for real, in life, it's not just a uniform, okay? In life is what the job that you're going to take or the career that you're going to take is to make sure that you're gonna like that job and that job will sustain your living, okay? So after I graduate high school, I moved to another country, right? So there you go. Now I have time to, like, I cannot afford to go to school. So I said, okay, maybe I should go to college, I want to go continue my education. And so I said, I'm gonna try. And so I said, I'm not sure if I still wanted to become a nurse. So, but what I'm gonna do is maybe I should try my best. I should try at least to give myself the taste of my the dream to become a nurse. So years later, I had a chance because I was so curious what it is to become a nurse. So I said, okay, I'm gonna try. So I applied at the hospital. Well, I used to work at the nursing home too when I was in California. So I was there. I worked there for, like, I don't know, few months in the nursing home, but not as a caregiver. I started to work at first it was laundry attendant, and then I changed that, moved to another nursing home in Texas. And then I worked there as what did I do? Like, you serve food at the nursing home. Instead of serving food at the restaurant, I was serving food at the nursing home in the cafeteria. And then I didn't like that job because what was happened? Because they pay me less, so that's why I said no, I don't want this job. And then I saw my other coworker, he was quitting his job. He was a baker. And then I told my supervisor that time, I said, I like his job, how can I take his job? And then because it pays more as a baker. But yeah, but then my supervisor, she tricked me to get into work. Like I work like two jobs now. Okay, it's different pay, but she put me to work like two jobs. I was working as a waitress or serving food, and then baker at the same time. I was like, "Duh, it's just like she just add me more work, but the job is just she just add a little. I mean, the pay she just add a little pay, but my job is two jobs. So, but then she didn't raise my other pay. I was so disappointed. So I left, and then I said, "Nah, that's not for me." So, yeah, and then I move again, still here in Texas, but different area in Texas. And so I was curious still about how to become a nurse, how to what is a nurse do, what is the nurse responsibilities, what their duties, what they do, something. I was always curious, and my curiosity took me to that, to that, so that way I can answer my curiosity, right? And so yeah, I went apply to the hospital, and I found this program. It's the how do you call that? CNA program. But in able to be on that program, I have to apply first as a patient care tech, aka CNA. So yeah, I was patient care tech for a CNA, you know. They put me in the training, they put me in the classes. I went through the school, the classes, you know, to take that training program. And they said that, oh, you have to be a patient care tech one first before you be able to go to the nursing uh, assistant program or the CNA, something like that. And so, okay, I tried. It's the same job, it's the same duties. It's like the same what how the nurses do. The only thing that we don't do is like to touch the IV. We're not allowed to touch the IVs, and we're not allowed to how do you call that? Take some like the blood. Take some blood. Yes, we can't do that. But we have the same. Most of their what they're doing is the same job as what we do. They, you know, we clean up some patients, you know, some patient needs some assistant, you know, cleaning themselves because sometimes they can't help themselves because they are just out of the surgery or something like that. Yeah. And that's when I was working there, that's when I figured that nursing isn't for me because I don't know. I got like panic attack. I got my anxieties and I couldn't control it. It was like there was so much triggers, like the noise of the hospital, the bossy coworkers. Everyone is bossy and everyone acts like, ugh, can't take it. But anywhere, you know, you can't just avoid them. They're all over the place. That's what I know. Still, you know, I get panic attack and then the patient who acts like, oh my god, you know, I don't know, I can't handle their attitude, and so I always get a panic attack. I always get a anxieties there, and the noise of the hospital, the Vocera, the communicator that we are using, you know, yeah, and so I couldn't take it, and I was like, I answered my curiosity, and that's when I figured nursing isn't for me. And I said, oh, good thing I didn't go to school because otherwise, if I go to school, I'm gonna end up like paying the how much is I'm gonna pay? $5,000, $6,000, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, there was a contract. I actually went to the classes, the CNA class program. I went there for like I think 3 days. I only make it to 3 days because uh yeah, I couldn't catch up to the classes. It was way too fast for me. So if you really want to go to like a CNA class program, you might want to go to like a real school that they can focus you, you know. They can give you time to train you and not just like the program from the hospital or whatever how do you call that, nursing home, because they are like fast pacing and I cannot get how do you call that, I cannot get ahead of them. It's like I'm always like left behind, and I get, so like I said, I get panic because there was so much like a lot of rules and regulations and a lot of like yeah, some patient that it's hard to deal with, and you have to have a strong mind and strong body, and you have to have like you have to be stronger than your job. And my mind wasn't, because I was like, I get like I told you, my anxiety was so bad. I came to the point that I couldn't take it anymore, and that I was like panicking. And one time, because there was this patient that she was like 40 years old, but she has the mind of a 3 years old, and she was huge, she was big. So she was like trying to get out of the bed, but she's not supposed to get out of the bed. And I was the babysitter that night. So we take turns who's gonna watch that patient. You know, not all the patient are we're going to watch them. No, there are like certain patient that we have to watch. It depends on their capabilities. So yeah, what happened was she was the one of the patient that we need to watch out for, and so I was that night taking care of her. That night I have to be making sure that she had to be, you know, that we're watching her or I'm watching her. There is a camera on the in the room, And then we have to watch them, make sure that she's not gonna get out of bed, because they said that she cannot get out of the bed because her body cannot take it, because she can't stand. She might fall, and then if she fall, that's gonna be our responsibility. And she was so huge. She was like 300 pounds, and I'm only like 127 pounds. So if she ever fell and hurt herself, or something happens to her, that's gonna be on us. That's gonna be on our responsibility, and we're gonna get blamed on, or we're gonna get like sue or something like that. There's a lot of like so much things going on. So I got panicked. So I guess my reactions took over my, this job. And so that's why I was there for only, I think, 3 months. And then the day that I was going to sign the contract to become a CNA program, I changed my mind. My instructor lady told me that, well, you have to make a decision now. If you wanted to sign this contract and continue this school, because if you don't pass this program, you are going to pay the $6,000, plus you're gonna stuck with the how do you call that, the contract. And I don't know how many years is the contract. I forgot. I read it and I forgot. Anyways, so I got scared of that. So I was like, oh my God, oh my God. It's not that I don't want to pay the $6,000. It's not that I don't have money to pay the $6,000, but I feel like it's just a waste of money, because I figured that in my heart that I don't want to be in that kind of job anymore. So yeah, I made a decision on that day. I said, no, I'm done. I cannot take this. I am canceling this CNA program. So I'm not gonna continue this. So please remove me from this class. And so yeah, they removed me, and I did not sign a contract, so I didn't have to pay. And there you go. I quit my job in the month of like February last year, I think. Yeah. So I quit my job, and I found a job that, well, at first I did not find a job that I like. So I finally found this job right now that I'm having right now. And now I love my job. My job, I am the customer associate experience. Yes, and I love it. This is a lot better. Although the pay is a big difference, because when I was in the hospital, I work as a 12 hours, right? So 12 hours times 4, something like that, plus the differential rate. And we don't have the differential rate where I work right now, because I only work 8 hours. Yeah, so that's the only thing that I lost it. But that's okay. I am happy to what my decision is. Yeah, so at least now I got my answers that my heart is not for nursing. So nursing is only for those people who loves doing, doing the, or become a nursing, okay? So it is you who will find out which one you like. If you wanted to be a nurse, if you wanted to become a nurse, that it is all up to you. You gotta ask yourself that to become a nurse, you have to have a strong mind, a strong body, and you have to become a, how do you call that? You have to be patient, okay? Because being a nurse is, mostly here in the US, is very, very, a lot of like regulations, laws and regulations, okay? So you have to follow the law, the regulations and such. So yeah. So that's why, at least now I am not panicking anymore with my job. I'm not going to be no longer watching one patient that it might fall, and then it's going to be onto me, that it's going to be, they're going to get back to me because I did not take care of the patient, something like that. So yeah, that's the reason why I quit. And so now that's why I found out to myself that I don't want to be a nurse. Okay, it's not just I don't want to become a nurse. I actually, maybe I can, but I did not pursue it, and I did not break my anxieties and my panic attack. So yeah. So no, I'm not a nurse. All right. Yeah, that's it. Bye. Thank you for watching.